Hello, and welcome back to the 582nd edition of the MCR. I started to say Michigan Conservative Roundtable, which is what MCR stands for. Have trouble not getting that out. To my right is TJ. My name is Mac. And today we're going to talk about one of our favorite people in politics and an American hero as far as I'm concerned, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida. Well, unless you've lived under a rock, you know that they had a massive hurricane, a Category 5 in places. And last I heard, it was on its way up the East Coast.
It did landfall into South Carolina.
Yeah, and I imagine it's tearing up everything on its way, as they do. Amy Klobuchar took advantage of the disaster which people are dying in to say that if you vote for Democrats, there won't be hurricanes anymore, or they won't be as bad, which is just absolute lie, nonsense. It's more proof, if you didn't have enough already, that Democrats will say anything to get your vote so they can get your money.
You talk about living in La La Land, completely disillusioned in that, because of climate change, you need to vote Democrat. How do you even begin to, there is no reaching across the aisle with that mindset.
Well, there's no significant climate change happening today. This is all theoretical. And we're all supposed to change our lives on this theory, but that's another video. Let's get back to Governor DeSantis. He told people in Florida, hey, if you loot, then, then you don't know who's lurking behind somebody's house. And, there's a whole bunch of ways you could take this. I think I know what he was saying, but...
Did he not in a press conference say, remind the would-be thieves that Florida was a Second Amendment?
Yes, that was part of the statement, so I was struggling there for a minute. But you're right, that's what he said. This is a Second Amendment state.
How dare, in the libs, how dare you? How dare you, sir?
He said, don't even think about looting, which ought to be pretty much a standard thing.
You know what? You shouldn't be thinking about looting anyway.
Exactly. No matter what the situation, you shouldn't be thinking about looting. Because you know what? When a black criminal gets killed by a white police officer, well, we're gonna when I say we, I mean black people are gonna bust out windows and steal whatever the hell they can get. And that's a fact. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch this channel. I've got tons of proof. Show me all the Asian riots. Show me all the white riots, other than Antifa, which are a bunch of communists. But he says, don't even think about taking advantage of people in this vulnerable situation. I can tell you, in the state of Florida, you never know who may be lurking behind someone's home, and I would not want to chance that. If I were you, given that we're a Second Amendment state. So this made the left go crazy on Twitter. CBS News repeated his comments. Of course, there was all kinds of, shame on you, Governor. Amicia Cross, common name. Odd commentary in the middle of a natural disaster, but DeSantis is known for scaring the hell out of people, pitting neighbor against neighbor. I don't think your neighbors are the ones going to be looting you.
No, I don't think so either.
So that's bullshit.
If anything, the neighborhood might come together in defense of their
I'll tell you what. I lived through the 1967 riots. Neighbors in Detroit, black and white, were sitting on their porches with their rifles and shotguns saying, not in this neighborhood and not anybody on this block. That's what happened. So Leslie Abarabnel, whoever the hell she is, and I don't know who most of these libtards are, a miserable, desperate DeSantis warns would-be looters. Florida is a Second Amendment state, something he's never said about his bros. And you would, of course, say, who are his bros? Hashtag Nazis in Florida, hashtag remove Ron, hashtag DeSantis destroys Florida. Well, it sure as hell doesn't look destroyed to me. In fact, so many of these people from leftist states like New York, New Jersey, New England, California, they can't wait to get to Florida so that they can be rid of the high taxes and the government oppression that they voted for. Then we had Joy Reid, basically a racist bitch in my mind. She says some of the most stupid things other than AOC that I can think of. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. Segregationist Miami Sheriff Walter E. Headley, 1967. So now we're going to go back to 1967 to dig up a quote from a guy who's not governor. And Ron DeSantis does not condone that in any way. But who in 1967, who are we talking about again? Same leaders.
Yeah.
Didn't take DeSantis long to return to form. Well, because Ron DeSantis is white, Ron DeSantis is a white, or DeSantis is a white supremacist. If you and I are white supremacists,
Well, if I'm not
if
mistaken,
you're white, you're a white supremacist.
the last name, DeSantis,
Yeah.
is that not of Latino ethnicity?
I believe so.
It sure sounds like it.
Yeah. Well, he's a white racist or a white supremacist. They're hell in their minds. Clarence Thomas is a white supremacist.
Yeah.
So so Sharon Watts, another libtard idiot, Governor DeSantis gives citizens permission to kill each other over property disputes during a natural disaster. Did you hear any of that in this statement? Because I didn't.
I'll tell you what I heard in one of his press conferences, and this was before Hurricane Ian made landfall on the west coast of Florida. A libtard reporter was accusing him of not taking enough action, and Ron DeSantis went ballistic on the guy.
So the Sharon Watts, whoever she is, says, racist shoot first laws. Shoot first. Well, I'll tell you what, if my life is threatened, you're damn right I'm going to shoot first, and hopefully I'm going to shoot last. How do you feel about that?
You know.
Oh, and it disproportionately impacts black Floridians. Well, why would that be? Could it be that blacks are disproportionately involved in crime? Again, you may not like it, but it's a fact.
They are just hell or high water. Pardon the pun with the hurricane.
Yeah.
They're going to smear Governor DeSantis any which way they can.
Yeah.
I love the guy. I always wish, why couldn't I live in a state?
Well, for these people like Joy Reid, continually kiss my ass or you're a devil.
So
Joy Reid, you ever hear Joy Reid talk about black supremacists? I haven't. Not once. They're out there. Trust me, I've met them. I've never met a white supremacist, but I have met black supremacists. And with that, I guess we'll wrap it up unless you have any further comments.
No, I just, I always wish we had a governor like him, and in Michigan we probably never will, and that's a whole nother segment.
Unions run this state.
Hey, DeSantis is the man, and if it's not Trump in 2024, it almost for sure will be him.
Yeah.
So have at it, man.
Yep. All right, with that, we'll close with, as we always say, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me. And fly DeSantis Airlines.